gives a lot of credit to Virginia Tech. I told Coach Young, and I just told Hunter Couture this, that like when we're getting ready to play somebody, I watch them play a lot, right? Because just I love the way how they attack people and how they play and how they get into stuff. And, I told him, like, I try and steal as much as I can from him. Like those two guards are so tough, and they play well, and they're so old, and they set stuff up, and they have such great IQ. Their big guys play off of them. They have shooters around them. They're tough to guard, and I thought in the second half, I thought in the last 2 days, I thought, Coach Fairley had done a great job of getting our guys ready, getting them prepared for the game plan. But I thought our guys really followed through with it. And, to give up 39, but to turn around and make a couple of small adjustments and give up 27 in the second half. And they scored a lot late, too. So I don't know what it was, but to hold them in the low 20s, mid-20s for a half is pretty impressive, and I'm just proud of our guys for their effort.
Micah, they tied it, I think, 3 times in the last 16 minutes. What kind of a step was it for your guys to just basically say, yeah, not tonight, we're getting out of here with a win?
Yeah, that just the composure that they showed, right? There were times, and I looked out there, and I'm like, man, we got 4 freshmen and a 19-year-old sophomore that are out there playing. But I thought, with that, I thought everybody came in and really contributed and did good things for us, right? And JR in the first half, Roper at times. Roper made that big shot. I thought Tay driving the ball, Garden, Zona, but everybody came in, did really big things for us. And we needed every bit of it. But for us to withstand a run, was some resiliency that this team has shown resiliency with how we keep showing up and playing every day. But it was awesome to see the crowd be resilient for us and show up in the way that they did today. And sometimes that really spurs you on when it's tough.
Micah, you mentioned that run in the middle of the game. I think Virginia Tech had went up 11-0. Looked like you weren't thrilled with the defense down there. How are you guys able to respond immediately with the 5-0 run down the half and then out of halftime?
I thought in the first half that we were a step behind kind of in our rotations and a little bit at the point of attack defensively as well. And they were getting deep into the paint. They were also kind of ISOing us a little bit as different screen and stuff was going on. I thought we buckled down and got a little bit better there at the end, and I thought that was a good run for us to close it and get close and then give yourself some hope and then be able to talk about the changes we need to make. But then to do it, then we did it. We came out in the second half and we changed what we needed to. And we got some stops and we scored some baskets and got a little bit of juice, which is what we needed.
Marcus was up here earlier talking about he kind of needed something to do to contribute other than scoring. He's talking about the 6 steals. How have you seen his defensive game grow, and what stood out about that tonight?
He's at the point of attack a lot, and we asked those guys, and I just explained this on the radio. Our pick and roll defense is a 5-man deal, right? It's not the big guy that's doing this. It's not the guard that's doing this. It is the big guy's helping to stop the ball for the guy that's guarding the ball. The guy that's guarding the ball is responsible for the first pass out, right? So he has to have really active hands. And I thought Marcus had really active hands. We got a bunch of deflections early in the game, but we didn't get the ball. And in the second half, we got those deflections, came up with it, and I thought that really kind of spurred us. A lot of that was him. Padula is one of the toughest covers in this league, and he guarded him for much of the game, right, until he got a couple fouls late, and we switched it. But he did a good job of keeping him in front and having active hands, and just his floor game and how he just constantly just kept getting around, finding the right guy, making the right play. As simple as it sounds, it's not. It's tiring when those big dudes are up there hard hedging you and bumping you and hitting you. But he's doing it over and over again. and he's guarding one of the best players on their team on the other end.
One turnover only for Marcus too, in this environment. I mean, in a comeback situation like that, was that some of the best game control you've seen out of him in a heavily contested game?
Yeah, it is. He really, he scored it early, got in the paint, got some pull-up jumpers, and I thought in the second half he really controlled, getting around the outside shoulder and finding different guys, kicking to the corners, kicking to the wings. But we talked about it a lot. We talked about our ball movement as a group and how we needed to improve and what we could do. And then we just been slowly but surely hammering away at it. And you just see small signs of it, which is really encouraging.
Micah, a lot of positives on the stats side, especially shooting the ball, less turnovers. You talked about the coaches working in practice. What was the big impetus of a game like this tonight then?
I think putting kind of everything together. We spent, it's awesome. It's great when we, sometimes we don't practice here because, you only get 2 goals, right? So we spend a lot of time at Rolfs, so you can use multiple goals and you can have different groups working at the same time. In the last couple of weeks, we've taken 25 to 30 minutes of practice at the start and worked in really small groups on some specific things that we can all get better at. That group of guys, and you're starting to see it. You're starting to see it a little bit, right? Attacking closeouts. Now you see JR, now you see Kerry attacking closeouts and getting a bucket. We worked on attacking a closeout to a post up. So now you see Julian Roper turn his back and get into the post and settle down and get a bucket, right? We worked on finishing. I know Kevin's not perfect, but he's 4 for 7, right? Those are big, but the time that we take in practice has been really key. And like we said, we want to keep getting better. And I get to see them every day, so I know that they're making steps. Now, to get a win on top of that makes it even more special because I see how hard they're working at. They're listening, they're trying to do and implement what we're talking about.